Morning, everybody. Hafa and welcome to The Link again on another Tuesday morning. And if you remember our Here's to Your Health segment, what we're doing right now, last week we talked about what our friends at NewGen Physical Therapy are doing for young people, specifically students and student athletes, about how they can make sure that they keep their bones, their joints, their muscles, just their state of mind ready to go as they head back to either the court or the field. Dr. Leonard Campus was one of the people who was on the interview, and he was saying that they've also at NewGen have wonderful programs for our island's elderly on the other side of the spectrum. So Dr. Campus and Dr. Luan Nguyen are here. Gentlemen, Hafa Adai, thanks so much for seeing you.
Hafa Adai, thank you for having us.
All right, so I am really excited, and Dr. Campus, I'm assuming because you have like the visible spinal cord and everything like that, there's a somewhat of a demonstration or maybe an illustrative thing. Is there a proper physical therapist in the world that does not have like all of the various parts of the vertebrae in their office? Oops, I think you're muted, Doc. There you go.
Yeah, we all have a lot of models. Truly is, the better you understand something, the more likely our plans will be successful. So, you know, a lot of times a lot of fancy words are thrown around, diagnoses, but when you could break it down and really show someone what's going on in their spine and show them models and show what your plan will do, you have much more compliance with the program. So we always have lots of educational tools.
Very cool. Well, and as far as being educated, I've been looking forward all week to this interview, because when you were kind of leading up to it last week and you said, you know, like our island's beloved Manomko, you know, the generation that came before us, there are a lot of services that physical therapy can provide them. And it's, you know, elderly care for the elderly is such a interesting topic, because you're dealing with you know, with physical forms that have been around for quite a while. And maybe if you guys can just break it down for me. Bad choice of words there, break it down. But what you know, what are we typically dealing with on Guam when we deal with people on the older side of the demographic and everything? Like what is the nature of maybe their injuries or just the state of their bodies?
Right. So thank you for longevity is one of my favorite topics, and you know, something that kind of saddens me or makes me cringe a little bit is when, you know, someone really attributes not being able to do the things they enjoy, and because of or attribute it to their chronological age. And this, I think that perception of normal has changed over the decades. And when you even look at the green zones, these are pockets around in the world, like in Costa Rica, Okinawa, where there's a lot of centenarians or people that are 100 years old that are actually really functioning with the high quality of life, and they're happy. And I think those kind of things have gone to the wayside, or our perception of what really normal or healthy has changed. And these people aren't, you know, carrying around bags of prescription medications just to stay healthy. So some of the three big tips I have recommend is, you know, number one, you know, for longevity is don't get diabetes. And we actually do have a program with BocaBox. It's a food prep program to really feed your soul and decrease your insulin levels and your diabetes number, called the Diabetes Program. Number two tip is delay cardiovascular disease as long as possible. And my number one tip is, you know, ditch the processed vegetable oils like canola oil, corn oil, and switch over to avocado oil, corn oil, olive oil, and coconut oil. And the last thing that Dr. Campus can go into is really build strength. We lose, you know, up to 8% of our body mass or muscle mass after the age of 40. So getting in the gym, working with the personal trainers, or going to do your fitness classes, and have some sort of resistance training, and also incorporating balance into it, is going to be crucial in terms of longevity and staying healthy.
Doctors, do you guys offer, I know Zumba like really took off like a rocket several years ago and everything. Is Zumba part of some of the services that you offer? Because I know sometimes it gets unfairly lumped in with people say like, okay, well, if I'm going to do Zumba, I have to be of a certain age. But I mean, Zumba is for everybody. And I know some people I'm related to, they're a little on the older side, and they're like, wow, that really changed my life. Just, you know, moving around, you know, to a certain degree, you know, getting a little bit of like, you know, cardio exercise and everything like that. They really feel as if it's improved the quality of their life.
Yeah, you know, that's a great question, and I like the topic of Zumba. There's been a lot of studies and looking into different fitness group programs, and they really show these dance programs or these martial arts programs where you're changing in planes and movement patterns are really the exercises that reduce aging or reverse kind of aging and help with diabetes, hypertension, high cholesterol, some of these chronic conditions. So we really love those. Here at NewGen, we have a program called Silver Streaks, and it's based off the Toggle Fall Prevention program. And it's a valid exercise group that's been shown to reduce falls in our elderlies. So it's validated, it's been proven to work. If we could prevent falls in our elderly, we help them enjoy that quality of life that Dr. Wen's talking about. Our medical doctors have done wonderful in increasing our lifespan. And here at NewGen, what we want to do is add quality to those years and function so those individuals can really enjoy it. And so we're really big proponents of the Zumba, all these dance classes, and then in particular our Silver Streaks program here.
Mm-hmm. Plus, I would say, I'm not a neurologist or anything, but I know that so many people, when they do Zumba, they've got this big smile on their face. It's a big social event, and you get the endorphins and the serotonin rush of just hanging out with your friends, and just getting out and cutting loose for a few minutes to some good music and everything. So I'm sure that has something to do with it.
No better therapy than laughing and dancing and having fun, right?
There you go. So gentlemen, what I'm hearing is it's also a lot, and what you at NewGen are advocating is a lot of preventative maintenance, so that when you do get to that older age, you don't have the chronic problems or the compounded joint problems, or maybe osteoporosis or things that you may have developed if you didn't lead as healthy a life as you probably should have.
And Jason, you see this in lots of things. You can drive your car and never change the oil until something breaks and have to take it to the mechanic, and it costs a lot more money and more time. Or you could change your oil periodically. And I think that's what we're trying to do here is do preventative care so we don't have these big falls, these big issues with diabetes, blindness. There's all kinds of things that happen when you let things get out of control. So let's get to it early so we can prevent it, and things are much easier for people at that point. And the quality of life's better.
Yeah, Dr. Campos, I love that analogy because one of the smartest mechanics I've ever met in my life, this guy was like an auto savant and everything. He goes, simply stated, take care of your car, and your car takes care of you.
Yeah, engines want to run, our bodies want to move. We just got to let it do it,
Oh, there you go. Well, Dr. Nguyen, I'd like to ask, when it comes to the members of our community who are older, and they come to you because they've got, certain types of afflictions, or, they're feeling discomfort or nagging pain and everything like that, what are some of the more common situations and conditions that you see and that you have to diagnose?
Right. So a lot of people come into me as they age, they might complain or have concerns about a lot of arthritic or osteoarthritis type pain, whether in the knees or in the back. And sometimes, people want that kind of fix with injections and things like that. But a lot of it's, for me, making that connection between how your diet affects the joints. If you have a very inflammatory diet, even looking at just your omega-3 to omega-6 profiles, if we tend to eat, when I alluded to before, is just your oils, that can even make the biggest difference. If you are eating higher omega-3s, such as olive oil, avocado oil, and a lot of salmon, versus processed vegetable oils or things that are in your cookies and things like that, those can be very inflammatory for the body and cause joint pain. So a lot of is education on how and making that connection. So don't underestimate what we put in our body affects our joints and our chronic pain.
Mm-hmm. Well, again, using the automotive analogy and everything, you want to use the high grade fuel that allows your car to get the most life out of it.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're really working this car angle, and and deservedly so, guys. I love that analogy. It's helping me understand this. Guys, are you seeing, when it comes to the generation that came before us, is the current generation, with your help and with your advocacy of how to live a healthy life, are people as they age getting better at eating the right things and exercising and taking care of themselves than, say, people like my grandmother's generation, where it was just out of habit and out of necessity that they ate meat and rice 3 times a day?
I think it's actually getting a lot harder in this day and age to be healthy because of the environment we're in. We're exposed to so much processed foods, and and it's in our face all day long. So, and those foods are a lot of times designed to make us crave more and more. So a lot of food scientists are designing foods to make us crave those kind of foods, and that can in turn make us a lot unhealthier. So I feel that is actually getting harder, and diabetes and heart disease was not even a big thing up until even about 50 years ago when our grandparents were growing up. So this is a relatively new kind of onset of a lot of chronic illnesses that are just popping up just more recently.
Mm-hmm. Well, guys, I want to ask
I
you.
think at this.
Oops, I'm sorry. Please go ahead, sir.
I was gonna say, I think at the same time, though, we have so much access to information on our next generations, mine, the ones after me, and even a little before me. There's so much information out there that they can take and then give to their families. And so I think the information's out there, but I think Dr. Run brings up a good point, is going out and getting the produce, the food. But the information is there. We just have to look for it. It's all over social media. It's all over the internet. I remember going to school and you had to go to the library to get all this information, right? You had to search journals and all this, and now it's right there at our fingertips. So information's out there. We just have to take the time to look at it and then try to implement it.
I know the young kids are like, card catalog? What the heck is that? There are these things called books, youngsters, and everything that, yeah, they're full of paper and, like they're bound and everything like that. We used to use them all the time. Okay, guys, I want to ask you for a little bit of a insider information, right? Because for people like myself and Chris Barnett, who's here, off camera, our grandparents would often ask us, boy, come over here, and I'm your grandparent. You have to show me respect, but give me a massage, right? And very often in Guamanian culture, we would literally just walk up and down on our grandfathers' backs, right? It was a thing to do as long as you're young enough and your grandfather's fit enough. Is there a proper way these days, like if somebody older in your family, somebody that may have had some health afflictions or muscle soreness and everything, is there a way where we as caretakers can properly massage them without exacerbating the injuries, or without like actually trying to make them better? Is there a proper way to do a massage?
I get this question all the time here in the office because I do quite a bit of massage and soft tissue work, and people are asking if their loved ones could do it at home. And I think the thing to remember is to listen to the person you're giving the massage to. If they're telling you it's hurting, it's too much, then go ahead and back off a little. I would be hesitant to walk on someone who's more elderly's back like that. But massage is great. The power of touch is healing, and it makes people feel good. So go ahead and massage away. Listen to the person when you're massaging them. Go easy when you're moving their limbs around, especially if they have some issues with their shoulders or their knees. Just don't crank and bend on them. But in general, yeah, go ahead and massage your grandma, your grandpa, your parents, your uncles and aunts. I think that's great. The power of touch is very healing.
All right, my own personal angle on this would just take him to the pros, send him to NewGen and everything, because they know what they're doing. And I can certainly I can do research. I can try and watch a bunch of YouTube videos and everything. But I feel much better if they were in your hands than in mine, because I may squeeze a nerve I'm not supposed to, and that's my godmother, that's my grandfather, and I don't want that on my conscience.
Yeah, you can always come here with them, and then we'll teach you how to do it here, and then that way you'll have the confidence.
There you
go. The door is
go.
always open.
a worthwhile investment, to be sure. Okay, as we let you go, can you just let people know, you were mentioning social media earlier, Doc, where they can find you guys on social media, because I know your site has got chock full of information for people of all ages, and it's a really good resource if you feel you have curiosities about certain things about health, or like me, if you're a caretaker and you want to find out so that you can help someone you love. Where can people find you on the web and on social media?
Right. So our website is www.newgen.gu, and same handle for our Facebook and our Instagram. My personal handle is on Instagram is longevity.guam, and on Facebook it's longevity.doc. So you can find me there as well.
All right, so Dr. Leonard Campos and Dr. Luan Nguyen, two gentlemen of part of the team over at NewGen Physical Therapy who have dedicated their lives to helping you live a better one for yours. So, boys, I appreciate the time as always on Tuesday, and look forward to talking to you next week.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Okay, so please stay tuned, everybody. The link continues with more interviews, and we are going to take a look back at some of the landmark interviews that we did in the year 2020 when the link continues right here on KUN.
Make it through the week
Your
with
Health is presented by American Medical Center.